The people who make this lifestyle work long term, especially solo, are the people who understand from day one that this isn't an escape from normal life. It's a different way of living normal life. Think full-time RV life is one long magical vacation? Think again. I'm Nancy, a 60-plus solo RVer, and after over 3 years on the road, I'm here to tell you the truth nobody posts about on Instagram. The sunsets are real, but the laundry, the bills, and the solo responsibilities, also very real. Today we're talking about one of the biggest lies people believe about full-time RV life, the perpetual vacation. You know what I'm talking about. That fantasy where you're constantly exploring, always adventuring, living your best life with nothing but freedom and beautiful sunsets. Yeah, about that. Don't get me wrong, there are amazing moments. I'm currently a few months into a 10-month trip that's taking me to 13 national parks, and some of what I'm seeing is genuinely once in a lifetime. But if you think moving into an RV means your regular life responsibilities just magically disappear, we need to have a serious conversation. Because, spoiler alert, they don't. And by the end of this video, I'll tell you what actually gets me through the days when it's hard. Here's a hint, it's not what you think. If you're new here, I'm Nancy, a 60-plus solo RVer who's been living full-time on the road for over 3 years. And I'm here to tell you the truth about this lifestyle. Not the Instagram version, the real version. So let's start with the fantasy, shall we? The perpetual vacation myth goes something like this. You sell your house, buy an RV, and suddenly you're living in a constant state of leisure. You wake up whenever you want, you explore national parks, you visit theme parks, you meet up with family and friends in different states, and every day is an adventure. Your life becomes one long, glorious vacation where the biggest decision you have to make is whether to hike or go to the beach. It sounds amazing, right? And here's the thing, that fantasy isn't completely wrong. There are days like that. Just check out my travel videos once you finish watching this one. There are moments when you wake up and realize you're parked next to something incredible and you have the freedom to go explore it. But here's what they don't tell you. Those moments happen in between all the same mundane, boring, responsible adult stuff you had to do before you moved into an RV. Except now you're doing it all solo in a smaller space, often with worse Wi-Fi, and with the added bonus of knowing that something amazing is happening just outside your window while you're inside dealing with life. Let me paint you a more accurate picture of full-time RV life. Do you want to sit with me? Can you sit nice? Take Grand Teton, for example. I was parked at Grosse Font Campground with some of the most jaw-dropping mountain views I've ever woken up to. The Tetons were right there, practically outside my window. And what was I doing? Sitting at my table paying bills, answering emails, meal planning, scheduling oil changes for both my RV and my tow vehicle, researching my next destination and calling campgrounds to check availability, watching my laundry pile up and then doing laundry at the campground laundry room. Oh, and my work? Yeah, that doesn't stop either. Whether you're running a business, working remotely, or creating content like I do, the deadlines don't care that you're on the road. The invoices still need to go out. The projects still need to be completed. The videos still need to be edited and uploaded. Some weeks I'm better at it than others, but when I'm somewhere exciting, that's when the discipline has to kick in. Right now, for instance, I'm in the middle of a 15-day stretch near Glacier National Park, one of the most beautiful places I've ever parked this rig. And I still have a backlog of videos from Utah sitting unedited because life on the road doesn't pause for scenery. Now, let me add another layer to this reality, doing it solo. When you see couples or families in RVs on YouTube, at least they can divide and conquer. One person can handle the hookups while the other walks the dog. One person can drive while the other navigates. One person can troubleshoot the Wi-Fi situation while the other figures out dinner. One person can hold the camera while the other talks. When you're solo, all of that is on you. Every single bit of it. I plan every route by myself. I back into every campsite by myself. And yes, sometimes it takes multiple attempts. And yes, sometimes people watch. And no, I don't care anymore. I set up and break down my camp entirely on my own. I troubleshoot every mechanical issue, every technical problem, every why isn't this working moment without another brain to bounce ideas off of. So when people romanticize the perpetual vacation of RV life, I want to ask them, what vacation have you been on where you had to do your own laundry, cook your own meals, manage your entire household, work a full-time job, and create content about the experience all by yourself? That's not a vacation. That's just life, a good life, compressed into 200 square feet and on wheels. But here's where it gets really interesting, and this is the part I don't think people talk about enough. The psychological challenge of living somewhere amazing while still having to live your regular life. When you live in a regular house, in a regular neighborhood, you can go into work mode and kind of forget about the outside world. Your environment isn't constantly tempting you with adventure. You're not looking out your window at a mountain range or a beach or knowing that Disney World is just down the road. But in an RV, you're hyper aware of where you are and what you're missing every single time you have to choose responsibility over exploration. Let me give you a specific example. I have a Disney annual pass. When I'm in the Orlando area during the winter, Disney is right there. I could go any day I want. Except I can't because I have work to do. I have videos to edit, I have bills to pay, I have content to plan. And you want to know something funny? The blockout dates on my annual pass, the days when Disney won't let me in even if I wanted to go, actually make my life easier. Because on those days, the option is completely off the table. I don't have to use willpower. I don't have to choose. The choice has been made for me. I know that sounds backwards, so stay with me. But on the days when I could go, those are the hard days, because every hour I spend working is an hour I'm consciously choosing not to do something fun. Looking out my RV window just reminds me of that choice over and over again. And honestly, some days it's genuinely hard to sit with. Not the lifestyle, the timing. It's the fun and the responsibility living right next to each other that's sometimes hard to figure out. Take January, for example. January is the month I get all my RV maintenance done. This year, that meant 12 new tires, 2 oil changes, 2 new batteries, and a yet undiagnosed RV brake issue that put me over my maintenance budget and meant a few days in the repair shop. It was especially important this year because of the cross-country trip I'm on. This is the perpetual vacation lie in its purest form. The assumption that being in a beautiful or exciting location automatically makes your life feel like a vacation. It doesn't. Just the normal boring parts of life feel more frustrating because you're constantly aware that the opportunity to do something fun is almost always available. So how do you deal with this? How do you find balance when your home is literally mobile and you're surrounded by places you'd love to explore? Honestly, it's a constant negotiation, and some weeks I'm better at it than others. I found that ironically, the quiet places make it easier to focus on the boring stuff. When I'm boondocking in the middle of nowhere, or I'm at a small campground in a rural area where there's not much to do, it's actually much easier to buckle down and get work done. There's no FOMO because there's nothing to miss out on. I might as well do laundry and edit videos because what else am I going to do? But when I'm somewhere exciting, that's when the discipline has to kick in. And let me tell you, discipline is a muscle that needs constant exercise when you're living this lifestyle. I've had to get really honest with myself about what I can realistically accomplish in a day. I've had to accept that some days are work days, even if I'm parked somewhere incredible. I've had to learn to plan my fun just as carefully as I plan my work, to actually schedule exploration time and protect it the same way I'd protect a work deadline. And I've had to let go of the guilt of wasting a beautiful day by working, the guilt of not making the most of every single moment, the guilt of being somewhere amazing and spending half the day doing mundane tasks. I still have to do life things. I just get to do it with a great view most days. But here's the truth. This is my life. Not my vacation, my life. My life includes boring stuff like work, like laundry, like meal prep and paying bills and walking Willie on his schedule, not mine, because trust me, my dog Willie has trained me very well, and he doesn't care if we're parked next to Glacier National Park or in a Walmart parking lot. When it's time for a walk, it's walk time. So a full-time RV life isn't a perpetual vacation. What is it? It's freedom, but not the kind people think. It's not freedom from responsibilities. It's freedom to choose where you handle your responsibilities. It's the freedom to decide if you want to do your laundry with a view of the mountains. It's freedom to choose which campground you'll be paying your bills from. It's the freedom to pick up and move when you feel like it, but you're still moving with all your regular life obligations in tow. It's adventure, but adventure mixed with mundane reality. Yes, I visited incredible places. Yes, I've had experiences I never would have had if I'd stayed in a traditional house. But I've also dealt with finicky water systems, spent hours trying to get a signal to handle a phone call, and eaten more quick, thrown-together meals than I care to admit because I was too tired to cook after a long day of driving and setting up camp. It's independence, but independence means doing everything yourself. Every decision, every task, every problem, every triumph. It's all on you. There's no one to split the mental load with. No one to take over when you're tired. No one to say, I'll handle dinner while you finish working. It's empowering and exhausting in equal measure. And it's absolutely a lifestyle worth living, but only if you go into it with realistic expectations. I think the perpetual vacation myth does a real disservice to people considering this lifestyle because it sets them up for disappointment. They hit the road expecting every day to be magical, and then 6 months in, they're burned out because reality didn't match the fantasy. The people who make this lifestyle work long-term, especially solo, are the people who understand from day one that this isn't an escape from normal life. It's a different way of living normal life. This lifestyle is for people who value flexibility and location independence more than they value comfort and convenience. It's for people who don't mind doing things the hard way if it means getting to choose their view. It's for people who can find satisfaction in the lifestyle itself, not just in the destination highlights. It's for people who are okay with being bored sometimes, even in exciting places, who are okay with missing out on things because they have responsibilities, who are okay with the fact that living in an RV doesn't make you immune to the mundane realities of being a human adult. And honestly, it's for people who can handle being alone with themselves for extended periods. Because even when you're surrounded by people, family, friends, and other RVers, at the end of the day, when you're back in your rig, it's just you. Solo RV life means you're the only person who's going to fix your problems, celebrate your wins, keep you motivated, and talk yourself through the hard days, which is why having a group of close, trusted friends is so important. But that's another video for another day. But solo doesn't mean isolated. I've got family to check in with, other RVers who've bailed me out with an extra hand or a spare part, and all of you, the people who watch these videos and comment and message when I'm having a hard week. That support doesn't do the laundry or back the rig into the campsite, but it's there. It's just a different kind of support than a partner sitting next to you in the passenger seat. But here's what I want you to understand. Just because it's not a perpetual vacation doesn't mean it's not worth it. The magic of this lifestyle isn't in escaping reality, it's in getting to choose which reality you want to live. It's in having the flexibility to be near family when you want to be. It's in being able to say, I'm going to spend 10 months chasing national parks and actually doing it. It's in the moments between the boring stuff when you do get to explore something incredible. The satisfaction doesn't come from constant adventure. It comes from successfully managing your life on your own terms, in your own space, wherever you choose to park it. It comes from the pride of backing into a tight campsite yourself, or in fixing a problem without having to call someone for help, or getting your work done even when the weather is perfect and you'd rather be playing. It comes from looking around and realizing that, yeah, life is still life, with all its boring responsibilities and mundane tasks, but you're living your version of it, not the version someone else designed for you. So if you're considering full-time RV life, especially solo, I want you to ask yourself this. Are you okay with the fact that life doesn't stop just because you live in an RV? Are you okay with doing laundry in a campground laundry room? With working from your picnic table? With missing out on things because you have responsibilities? With doing absolutely everything yourself? If the answer's no, that's okay. This lifestyle isn't for everyone, and there's no shame in that. But if the answer is yes, if you can accept that this is just a different way of living a regular life, not an escape from it, then this lifestyle might be exactly what you're looking for. Just don't expect a perpetual vacation. Expect a life, a full, real, sometimes boring, occasionally frustrating, but ultimately rewarding life that you get to design. And honestly, that, for me, is better than any vacation ever could be. If this resonated with you, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone else you know who may be considering full-time RV living. If you're living this life too, and you want to add your own reality check into the comments, please do. I love hearing from fellow full-timers, especially solo travelers. And if you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button because I keep telling you the truth about this lifestyle, not the Instagram version. 3 years in and I'd still choose this. Not because it's a vacation, because it's a life I got to build on my own terms. I'll see you next week.